are so happy together. Coast FM 963, you're on Raw and More, Ango After Hours, bringing you great tunes, great vibes, and great guys. And yes, I did turn the guy into a plural because for the first time in ages, we're actually happy together in the studio. I'm not the only one in here because I'm being joined right now by a couple of our Rawsome Raw team and a newly trained couple of presenters. Well, one of them has been very recently trained. Stephen Wheatley is with us tonight. How are you going, Steve?
I'm very good, my friend, and I'm very happy to be with you guys here tonight.
You're very happy to be together, you would say?
Absolutely, absolutely. What a great way to spend a Monday night. Where else would you rather be?
I know, I couldn't agree more. And opposite us right now as well, we are being joined by someone very special who we haven't seen around these parts for quite a while. I'm a Turtles fan in terms of the animal, and this guy's a Turtles fan in terms of the band you just heard, Brando Macmillan. How are you going, sir?
Doing good. I knew you would play that song.
I had to celebrate. You're back in the studio with us. It's been a while. How have you been? What have you been up to?
Been pretty good. Believe it or not, I'm still working some behind the scenes on some future Raw stuff, so stay tuned for that. Yeah, that's it.
He hasn't totally gone away, Coasties.
That's right. We'll hear some Brando cameos and all the ladies up and down the coast will go nuts. So
let's not go that far.
Can't wait for that. I mean, they went nuts when you sang that song at our AGM too, Happy Together by the Turtles. That was a beautiful performance.
That's not true.
I think, a couple did in the luncheon at least. Steve, how was your weekend been?
Not too bad. A little bit disappointing to see that the boys went down to the Western Sydney Wanderers on the weekend, but that's okay because the girls are going to do it on Friday.
That's what we're hoping, and yeah, that was really, really not nice to watch. But you know what was nice to watch at Gosford? The week before when we went to Manly versus South together and Manly got the dub. So first of many in 2025, hey Steve?
Exactly, first of many.
That's for sure. And speaking of that game, to mark the occasion, I thought I'd start off well and truly tonight with one of my favourite Aussie indie tracks. Here's a bit of Faker, and this one goes out to the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's called This Heart Attack. I feel like there's a slight subliminal messaging in that song. Coast FM 963, you're on Raw and More with Angus Hamill, Stephen Wheatley and Brandon Macmillan. That right there was Robbie Williams with Radio. Definitely not one of his hits. And we love hearing radio-positive songs out on the airwaves. Listen to the radio, indeed. Listen to us right now. Great tunes, great vibes, great guys, if I do say so myself. The reason why I've put that one on the playlist is because our very own Stephen Wheatley, you just last week really have graduated from the School of Coast FM. Your training is done. You're a proper presenter now. How you feel?
I actually feel good, mate. I really do. It's when I started, I did not think I was honestly going to get this far. I didn't know if I was going to be here after 2 weeks. So to be able to be doing this is actually a really good achievement for myself, I must say.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Like, you've come a long way, not just with the announcing stuff, but like putting the show together and paneling and everything. Like, I felt really comfortable leaving you on your own for the last couple of weeks, and yeah, nothing stuffed up, which is the most important thing. Brando, did you do the presenters course, or have you always been kind of like behind the scenes and weaseling your way on air here and there?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I only done like proper presenting when Cooper Gillett came in and asked for an interview for Static, if you remember that. And it kind of all started from there.
Was that it? Was that your first like on-air kind of experience, really? Like with a live interview sort of thing?
I've done previous interviews, before, but this was like what started when it came to taking it seriously.
Yeah,
on a
nice.
more weekly basis and stuff like that.
And who would have thought we are all on the website together now?
We are. Go to the Coast FM homepage. You'll see our names there.
Yeah, if you go to coastfm.org.au, you'll see us under Raw and More. Angus, Hamill, Stephen Wheatley and Brandon Macmillan. And we're all together, believe it or not, for the first time live on air.
Taking a bit, but we're finally here.
Now, speaking of the experience you were thankful for, Steve, I noticed before we went on tonight, you had a little package out there for Brando, which he was quite emotional about. Can you tell us? He's actually unveiling it right now, as you can hear in the background. It's a I would pick different colours, Steve, but what did you get for Brando?
So I wanted to show my appreciation, mate. I have learnt not just a lot from yourself, but a lot from Brandon, who from the very day I started here was showing me all the tricks and the trades, and he's definitely the main man behind the scenes. That he does probably get a lot of credit that he probably is due. So I actually have gifted to say thank you to Brandon for everything he's done for me so far here at Coast FM. I have given him a nice Parramatta Eels stubby holder.
You hear that, Mum? You hear that, Dad? More para for the collection.
I thought that was the first bit of Parramatta finale that you had.
Paraphernalia brings a different meaning to it.
It's a family team.
So well, that's good to know.
Does your whole family go for it?
Yeah.
Oh, you poor buggers.
I mean, I guess there's always that one strange family on the street that your parents always said, don't go play with those children down the street. They look dangerous.
And we were just about to say Steve has a heart after all, Brando.
No, but so that's a bit of a thank you for me, mate, because I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. And I actually gave you a nice gift the other day myself, mate.
Yeah, much better looking one, a manly stubby holder. So thanks very much for that, Steve. I'll add that to my manly finalia collection. And you know what, Brando, because I love you as well, coming up we're going to be hearing your pick for the good vibe of the night.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. It is quite literally a good vibe coming up right after this. And now it's time for a segment 9 out of 10 doctors recommend you listen to. It's called Angus Brando's
Vibe of the Night.
Yes, it's Brando's Good Vibe of the Night, the segment where Brando dives deep into his own personal playlist, pulls out a song that has immaculate vibes, slaps them out there on the Coast FM airwaves, and hope that you, yes you, listening at home right now, enjoy it as much as he does. Now, Brando, it is the good vibe of the night.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the song you've chosen doesn't represent this segment. Well, no other song could represent this segment better than this one. So tell us what you've chosen and the reasoning behind your choosing of it.
Okay, I have picked Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, and I only picked that one because before we went on air, you were like, we need a good vibration segment, and I was like, Good Vibrations.
Hey, I mean, it's in the name, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Now, do you know who sings it?
It's Mike Love, yeah. Mike Love and Brian Wilson.
That's right, otherwise known as their amazing beachy band called
The Beach Boys.
Hell yeah. So, without further ado, and this is crazy because I've actually never used this song or the Marky Mark edition of Good Vibrations in this specific segment. So for the first time, we have a good vibe that's literally a good vibe, thanks to Brando. Nothing like a good bit of theremin in a rock song, am I right? Coast FM 963, you're on Raw and More. Ango After Hours, Angus Hamill, Stephen Wheatley and Brandon Macmillan with you. That right there was Brando's Good Vibe of the Night, which was, of course,
Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys.
And a very beachy tune it was indeed. And that reminds me of a bit of a phenomenon. I'm kind of ashamed to admit this live on air, but I don't know if you guys remember the Good Guys. I didn't even know what they sold at this store. The Good Guys.
Neither do I. I still don't know.
We're still waiting to find out.
But all their TV commercials were, come in and see the good guys. And I always thought that was the original because I heard it before Good Guys by the Beach Boys.
Same here, but to be fair, we're both probably like 10 years old, if even that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're the same age. Yeah, 99 babies. So
how were we supposed to know?
I know, right? We just saw it on TV. You don't see the Beach Boys on TV much on Pelvo Telly growing up, eh, Steve?
Well, absolutely no. And being, even though I am 10 years older than you guys, but...
And he looks it. I'm sorry.
No, but you're right, though, because I always associated that song and I knew just that song. I thought, that must be the Good Guys band or something. And when I found it was the Beach Boys, I was like, that's interesting.
I was like, I can't believe they turned the Good Guys theme song into a whole real song. Wow, that's crazy. And, the other one that I kind of had as well, the Time by the Black Eyed Peas, they did a remix.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought for years that was the original of I've Had the Time of My Life.
Same here, to be honest.
Oh, there you go. It's a generational thing. I'm sure there's a lot of Coast FM people who are just screaming at us right now through the radio because we're just too young to know good
a lot
music.
of angry callers coming.
Definitely. But, guys, don't worry. I promise I do prefer the original version of both those songs. Although the good guys, it is a banger. I will
Absolutely,
I will
100%.
say that. And speaking of original tunes versus non-original tunes, it's time for two songs. They sound exactly alike. Yes, these are two songs, and they sound alike. How's that for a completely unplanned segue, guys?
Perfectly timed, mate. Perfectly timed.
Thank you. I try. But yes, this is Sound Alikes, the segment where I give you two songs that fall into one of three different categories. Category A, a song that directly, illegally rips off another. Category B, a song that legally samples or interpolates another song. Or Category C, two songs I think just have a very similar sound or a very similar vibe. And since, I've got a couple of beautiful boys in the studio to bounce off tonight, I thought it would be cool to kind of, play around with this segment tonight, give you guys a little bit of a pop music quiz. Ooh. Now, with this Sound Alike segment, I got a couple of songs ahead of us right now that I know the answer of to do with, but I thought I would quiz you guys while they play throughout the airwaves and ask you, which is it? Is it a legal sample or is it an illegal sample? And because, it's a new game, you guys are settling into live radio with me tonight, I thought I'd give you a bit of easy mode right here. I think it's kind of easy to think about. You'll definitely know both these songs, but the question is, will you know if it's a legal sample or a rip-off? Without further ado, here is song number one. Man, are you guys feeling ice cold or what? What's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold.
I can't hear you. I said, what was cooler than being cool?
Ice cold.
All right. Coast FM 963, you're on Raw and More. Angus Hamill, Stephen Wheatley and Brando Macmillan with you. That song right there was a part of our Sound Alike segment we're going through right now. It was Vanilla Ice with Ice, Ice Baby, or as Steve was singing along during that,
Ice, Ice Coffee. Well, I think that should be the new version of it.
I think that represents us as a collective better than the Ice Ice Baby because we are not babies anymore.
No, we're not.
All right, how does this game go again?
Okay, so we are Sound Alikes, where I play you two songs that, guess what, they sound alike. But was the similar sound or sample legal or illegal? So that's the question I'm posing to you guys.
Illegal.
Is that what you reckon, Brando? Straight up?
Yeah, that's right, straight up.
All right, what do you reckon, Steve?
I reckon the illegal was Vanilla Ice.
Ah, so you guys are going to both go that it was an illegal sample.
Yes.
Yes.
Just wait till he pulls out. It's like, you guys are wrong.
You guys are idiots. Here's all the facts. Well, actually, it was illegal. You got it right. So a point for both of you. Do you guys want to have a tiebreaker to see who could go ahead?
Well, we can't end in a tie.
Yeah,
That's it.
There's got to be one winner and one loser.
All right. Whoever comes closest to telling me the year the original Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie was released wins the crisp high five over here from me. So what year was Under Pressure released?
Okay, so the question is what year, right?
Yes.
And we have to guess which one.
Yeah, well, Under Pressure, the original.
Okay. I'm going to pass the mic on to Stephen Wheatley.
Strategic pass from Brando.
Oh, yes. He wants me to go first. Okay.
He was alive when it was released, wasn't he? Close to.
Well, I think I am probably going to be showing a bit of my age with both of these songs. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark. I'm going to say 1992. All
right. Brando, what do you reckon?
I'll go with one number above, 1993.
Okay, well, I will tell you the closest to the actual year Under Pressure was released was Steve.
Hey!
Who would have thought?
It was released in 1981. Ice Ice Baby was actually released before both your guesses. It was released in 1990. The hook of the song, the bass, do-do-do-do-do-do-do, that was the illegal sample. And Vanilla Ice tried to play it off, and I'll play them back to back and see if you can notice the slight difference. So here's Under Pressure first. And here's Ice Ice Baby. Notice the rhythm of the bass.
Very similar, very similar.
Very similar, but Vanilla Ice tried to play it off saying it wasn't illegal because he changed the melody slightly. Under Pressure had 4 notes. Do, 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 do. Oh, well, just, 4 bars. But Vanilla Ice's sample added an extra note. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do,
No, that doesn't count, sorry.
I know.
It
wasn't good enough. It was still too similar. They took it out in court and ended up being, the Queen and David Bowie members who produced the original ended up receiving songwriting credits and royalties for that song in the end. So all's well, ends well, but originally it was illegal. Now, it's time for us to take a quick break, but coming up, we're going to be hearing my pick for the good vibe of the night. It was so nice we had to do it twice. It's a segment that I like to call Angus's Good Vibe of the Night. Yes, it's my good vibe of the night, the segment where I dive deep into my own personal playlist, pull out a song or two that I think have immaculate vibes, slap them out there on the Coast FM airwaves and hope that you, yes you, Sarah, listening at home right now, enjoys it as much as I do. Now, tonight I'm really excited about this one because this is a very early contender for my Aussie Good Vibe of 2025. It's a song by one of my personal favourite bands at the moment that was released just a couple of weeks ago, and it is an absolute banger. Timeless bit of Aussie indie rock, very topical to the country we live in, very beautiful vibes, very sentimental song as well by a band that's been known for being lovely and sentimental. Of course, I'm talking about, even though they're from Brisbane, they're one of my faves, Ballpark Music, with a brand new single from their upcoming album, Like Love. It's called Please Don't Move to Melbourne. I'm sure we've all had someone in our lives that we don't want to move far away and we want them to stay home. And it's a real bittersweet song, but it's a really lovely tune and it's just been absolutely stuck in my head the last couple of weeks. So without further ado, hopefully this gets stuck in your head as well. My good vibe of the night, Ballpark Music with Please Don't Move to Melbourne. Coast FM 963, are you feeling the good vibrations? You're on Raw and More, Angus Hamill, Stephen Wheatley and Brandon Macmillan with you. That right there was my good vibe of the night, the segment where I dive deep into my own personal playlist, pull out a song or two that I think have immaculate vibes, slap them out there on the Coast FM airwaves and hope that you, yes you, station manager Sarah, listening in at home right now, enjoy it as much as I do. That song right there was by American singer-songwriter Role Model from his latest album, Kansas Anymore. It's called Scumbag. Got the chance to see him live at the Enmore Theatre a couple of weeks ago. And yes, that song is a banger live. But my main good vibe of the night was the song you heard first, Brisbane indie rockers Ballpark Music with their brand new single, Please Don't Move to Melbourne. Honestly, I'm in love with that song. It's going to be one of my most played. I reckon it'll be top 5 in my Spotify Wrapped at this point.
Couldn't agree more with the title too.
I know, right? Brando, you're actually going to be writing a sequel to that, Please Don't Move to Newcastle. I thought that's a sentiment we can all relate to.
Absolutely.
Like, who would move to Melbourne, hey Steve?
Oh, no, maybe a few people, but I do look forward when that comes out on Spotify that, who wants to move to Newcastle?
Yeah. It's going to be the upcoming single from Honey Mustard, so I can't wait to hear it.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And speaking of staying tuned, we're about to cross the 8 o'clock threshold. It's a scary journey going from 1 hour to another, but to help you, we are looking back at a year from the past. Now, Steve-O, you have won the first quiz of the night on a technical tie break, I guess you could call it. But Brando, you can redeem yourself with this. We're looking back here at the 2001 Hottest 100. I'm going to play you 3 songs that charted in the top 10 of that year's list. And when we come back after 8 o'clock, it'll be up to you guys to tell me what song you think charted the highest. So, without further ado, here is song number 1. And I know it's a song that's close to your heart, Brando. What do you think of this? A bit of Weezer. Oh, how amazing was that, am I right?
I'd say it was pretty amazing.
Oh, thank you guys. You know what's great about having co-hosts is You don't have to come up with sound effects. They can do it for you. So thanks, Brando. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for, man.
Ghost of M963, you're on hour numero dos of Raw and More, Ango After Hours, Angus Hamill, Stephen Wheatley, Brandon Macmillan. I hope your crossage across the 8 o'clock threshold was a pleasant one, as we played for you right there 3 songs from the Hottest 100 of 2001. Those were 3 songs that all charted in the top 10 of that year's chart. And it's up to my sturdy co-hosts here to tell me what song out of those 3 charted the highest. So to recap, we had at the top Weezer with Island in the Sun. Then we heard Garbage with Go Baby Go. And that song you just heard was Alex Lloyd, Amazing. I'll go to you first, Brando. What song charted the highest?
All right, and since I'm the first one, may I say, I'd like to hear what Steve has to say first.
I didn't realise this was tipping point. You're passing and playing, and
I didn't know that was an option. If I knew that,
he forgot to say no returns. You could pass it back to him, Steve.
no. Look, I will definitely go again. So those are definitely all number one contenders, but I know there can only be number one. I think probably for me, Island Holiday would probably have to be number one. I think Garbage would be number 2. And
Alex then, charted the lowest.
Yeah, I think he would probably be number 3. I think they definitely are number one contenders, and I'm probably sure there are some listeners out there that are saying, "Oh, Steve Vina, you're older than these guys. You should know this off by heart."
No, I think the first thing the listeners will say, actually, Steve, it's Island in the Sun, not Island Holiday.
I know. I could see across the desk Brando having an aneurysm when you call it Island Holiday, because I know he's a Weezer fan. Brando, what do you reckon out of those 3? What was the top charting song?
I think it's going to be Amazing.
Oh, well, what an amazing guess that might be. I can confirm one of you is correct.
Who would have thought, right?
I know, right? Well, you could have both been wrong. That would have been funny. But that person is Brando.
Hey!
Well done. Amazing by Alex Lloyd actually did top the chart. Number 1 in 2001. Then we actually had Island in the Sun by Weezer. That was number 7 on the list. And Go Baby Go by Garbage. That charted at number 10. So congratulations, Brando. You've evened things up with Steve. How do you feel?
Does that mean we have to do a tiebreaker again?
Oh, gosh.
I think we might have to.
You know, I'll come up with something in the near future. But first, we got to go to this.
And now it's time for The Local List. Brought to you by Home Brewed.
There you go, guys. Shiny new jingle. What do you think of that?
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks, I made it myself. So this is The Local List, brought to you by Home Brewed, who used to be in this very time slot on Monday nights. Cameron Smith and Eamon Snow come to me every single week, bringing onto your airwaves a brand new release by a local artist that they think is fantastic. Tonight's pick comes to us courtesy of Eamon Snow. He says Central Coast singer-songwriter Zalia Kazadi has just dropped her debut album, which is semi-self-titled. It's called Zalia. The album includes a lot of songs that she wrote between 2017 and 2022. She's 21 years old now, so she's a bit of a prodigy to say the very least. It was only last year that she released her debut single out of that bunch, and this is a brand new one from her. It's called Biggest Enemy. One of the many highlights from this new album, it starts slow and builds beautifully, drawing on lush acoustic R&B stylings to explore experiences with anxiety and self-sabotage. He says it's catchy and introspective, and it's a real fresh coasty track. Without further ado, tonight's pick for The Local List is Biggest Enemy by Zalia. Oh, we've got some sweet singer-songwriters in the area, don't we? Coast FM 963, you're on Raw and More, and that was The Local List, brought to you by Home Brewed. Cameron Smith and Eamon Snow bringing you a fantastic new release by a local artist, pardon me, every single week. At the top, we heard from Zalia with her brand new single, Biggest Enemy. That was chosen by Eamon Snow for tonight. And if you'd like to keep track of Zalia and her performing, you can follow her on Instagram at Zalia. That's Zalya Music, and you can hear a lot more from her brand new self-titled EP. The song you just heard was Piper Butcher, who you may recognise from Australian Idol a couple of years ago. That's a brand new single of hers that she has self-released. It's called Through the Night, and She's not a coastie, but she's quite close. And Brando, I'm really sorry to say this, she's from Newcastle. But, I mean, it's impressive that someone from Newcastle can come out with a song like that.
That's true. That's true. Credit where it's due.
I reckon. I thought you might appreciate that. Now, we were talking before those songs played, guys, about a tiebreaker that we could use for tonight, because you guys are 1-1 in the quizzes and I don't have anything else because I'm not really an ideas guy at times. But Brando, you came up with a perfect idea for a tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's it. Let's just go old school. Pretty simple.
Look at
heads or tails, a classic coin toss. Ango, my man.
Alrighty, I got a round metal object in my pocket that I will be using for this coin toss right in front of you.
Listeners. That's really not serious.
Yep.
I know, it's a real coin toss.
Yeah,
It's like 2 up all over again. All right, so who's got the call? I think, Brando, since you're the ideas man, you got the call. Heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. Okay, it's landed. I can't really see it. Brando, what does it say?
Okay. Looks like it's time for a station sponsor.